Hey everybody, Mr. Piercy here. What we're going to be doing today in our constructions video is I'm going to be showing you how you copy an angle. And this is a pretty basic construction as far as things go, but it's not going to be uh, as simple as copying a segment was. So as usual, we will need our straight edge and our compass. Because we will be copying an angle, I will probably use the protractor to measure the angles just to make sure that I copy them correctly. And let's go ahead and get started and see how we're going to do this. Now, because what I notice in a lot of times what people like to do, because we read from left to right, I think, a lot of times people like to make their angles looking like that, which is fine. And if you're left-handed, that's really the easiest way to draw your angle if you're going to be copying one. I, however, again, am right-handed, so I'm going to use my straight edge here, and I'm going to open up my angle, and let me get rid of this guy here, because I want to draw my line out big enough where I'd be able to measure it. Let's go ahead and give me something like that. So we'll give ourselves some points here, obviously, and we'll call this angle A, B, and C. So I want to copy the angle, and the way that we're going to do that is to make sure that obviously it has the same measurement. Now you are going to need to give yourself a little bit of room on your paper. As you can see, I'm using, just kind of, you can kind of see the writing underneath. This is just the backside of a scratch sheet of paper that I have laying around. So it may be easier for you guys to do it this way normally, but give yourselves a little bit of room to work this out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself another straight line to mimic what I have as ray BA. Now, I'm not worried about if this is actually as long as this one. We're not trying to copy the segment. All we're trying to do is copy the angle. Now, because what we need to do is we need to make another segment that goes this way somehow, but we need to make sure that it has the same measurement it does here at angle B. So in order for us to draw that line segment, I have to have 2 points, because Euclid's cyclic postulate says any 2 points contain a straight line. So I have a point here, but I need another point here somewhere, and I need to figure out, well, where is that point supposed to be? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the tip of my protractor at the vertex of the angle that I'm going to copy. Now here there's no real rule as far as, well, how far should I open up my compass, how closed should it be. Again, I'm going to just kind of use just a little bit of judgment here, and I'm going to say a little bit more than halfway down one of the sides of the angle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an arc, and I know it's so hard to see, so let me go over it a couple times to make sure y'all can see it. I'm going to draw an arc through both sides of the angle. Now, what I'm going to do when I do that is I'm going to come down here to where I'm going to make my new vertex of my angle, and without adjusting my compass, I'm going to draw that same arc. Now I'm going to draw it a little bit longer on purpose than I did the first time, because again, I know that my segment for my ray for the second part of the angle has to come this way. So I need to find something that will intersect this arc somewhere, so I know where to draw the ray. So once I have the arcs copied from the original angle to the one that I'm making, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my compass and open it up to be the width. Right there is where I want it. I'm going to be open it up to be the width of the distance between the rays where the arcs intersects the two sides. Okay? And what I'm going to do, this is where I'm going to, since I don't want to turn the paper completely upside down, I'm going to have to use my left hand here. And I'm going to place the point here. So we'll just go ahead and name this intersection. We'll call this point X, just why not? And I'm going to place my point here, and I will now draw another arc to see where it would intersect the first one that I drew. And I will call that point there, I'll call that one Z. And now I have the vertex that I'm going to make for my angle, and I have a second point. So now I have 2 points that I can make my ray with. And I'm going to go ahead and draw that one out, hopefully long enough for us to see it. And I'm going to put this one here, I'm going to call that Y. So now I have angle XYZ and angle ABC. Now I can just use my protractor here to see, did I actually measure them or construct them the same. And here again, when I made this originally, I just drew it randomly. I did make it acute on purpose, but that was about it. And this looks like it's right about 75 degrees. And so if I come down here and measure that one, and that one looks really about 74. So they may not be perfect. I might have missed something here when we did our construction, but that's between, if I'm 1 or 2 degrees, or if I'm 1 degree plus or minus one way or the other. So here I'm about, that one looks right about 74 degrees there, and this one here looked like it's about 75. So I'm off by a degree, but to me that's fine. If I'm 1 degree over or under, especially doing a construction like this, I'm perfectly fine with that. But that's how we're going to be doing it, and it works the same way with an obtuse angle as well. So what I'd like you guys to do is make sure that you try both times. Try copying a couple of acute angles, try copying a couple of obtuse angles, and just practice it until you feel relatively comfortable with the construction itself. Now again, make sure that you keep in mind whenever you're doing these constructions, until we don't need them for like maybe our final product or something like that, we need to kind of keep our construction marks visible because that's evidence of your work. So anyway, go ahead and try practicing these a few times, see how you do, and we'll be showing you some more constructions here very shortly. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching.